Thomas Cookson's review of the trial of a Time Lord at Large contains this segment about the mysterious planet in particular. It was published on the 19th of the 8th, 07. The review itself was titled, "If It Were the End, the Moment Was Far From Prepared For." When I first watched the Mysterious Planet segment, I didn't mind the comical overtones of the underground settlement or the intrusive trial scenes. For me at that age, they added to the surrealism, the strange wall between past and present, between the frivolities of the day and the implied horrors of recent history on Earth. I was young enough to be happy with eloquent speeches holding up what is basically a lightweight story and not feel shortchanged by that. I still really enjoy Glitz's anecdote about the prison psychiatrist. I mean, I must have seen dozens of them and I still hate competition. Oh, and there's the odd bit of good banter between the Doctor and Perry as they explore the barren planet. Perry, any intelligent life? Doctor, other than me, you mean? Unfortunately, there's far more daft comical scenes involving tribespeople forgetting which way they're meant to go, or characters getting slimed by green goo from the underground complex's food dispensers, like something from a Saturday morning kids show. The effect is pretty diluting, not enough to take away from the staying power, but enough to ruin the immediate drama and tension. The main problem with Trial is that the story action never stops getting interrupted by the scenes of the Doctor and the Valeyard squabbling over what is being shown. The effect is very intrusive and keeps breaking the momentum, making the story drag. Like I said, at a young age I accepted those scenes as being part of the story's surreal symbiosis, but in repeated viewings I've quickly grown less tolerant of them. There's just too many of the damn moments. Some of those courtroom scenes work wonderfully and really convey a sense of conspiracy, political paranoia and corrupt justice. The character of the Valeyard was a good one, and he made a good foil for the Doctor. His approach of dissecting and passing critical comment on the events we see made him feel really odious and cunning. The way he relentlessly twisted the facts and manipulated opinion against the Doctor and drawing on the protagonist's very own ethics and politics was very effective. Michael Jaston really gives it all in a really tremendous performance, making his words piercing and giving the character of the Valeyard plenty of venom underneath his mask of etiquette. Colin Baker is unfortunately pretty out of control in these scenes and underfoots the menace badly, but even then there are the odd moments where the Doctor seems to have been broken by the Valeyard's poisonous testimony, and Colin actually plays those scenes very well for all their raw delicacy. Unfortunately, this dissipates too soon and we're not really given the penetrating battle of wills that we could have got. Occasionally the pissing contest between the Doctor and Valeyard becomes entertaining, usually when it sticks to the business side of things, such as one scene where he manages to get one up on the Valeyard and lambasts one of his pointless presentations, winning the Inquisitor's approval. The beaming look of smugness on the Doctor's face is priceless for the kind of unsubtle pomposity that only Colin Baker can do, but is followed up by dozens of brickyard, backyard, and knickers yard gags that were only mildly funny for the first time, and moments where the Doctor's tantrum seemed like a hollow substitute for urgency. Unfortunately, I can only think back onto the Doctor Who Handbook's overview, which referred to it as the most suspenseless courtroom drama ever shown, where momentum and gravitas is frequently interrupted and treated with flippancy. Then again, maybe that was the point. By spoiling the suspense and dramatic impact of the violence for intrusive courtroom cutaways, it was like they were expressing bitterness at how toothless the show had to be under Grade's draconian guidelines for toning down the violence and putting in more humour. But you know, bitter writing often just makes bad writing. There is the on-running joke in which the Doctor remarks on the events shown on The Matrix, but echo criticisms aimed at the series itself. But instead of coming across as ironic, it gets out of hand, going from self-parody into self-loathing. The worst offender of the Doctor's lines is, "Wake me when it's finished," which brings home the lethargy of the whole thing. There is a sense of the show's own self-loathing, or even an apathetic refusal to aspire to anything better, as though it is being lethargic quite willfully. It feels in places like the story has grown hostile towards the viewers and saying to the audience, "You're either with us or you're against us." But that's unfortunately just the tip of the iceberg.